In this video I'll be looking at Panasonic's DX900 series Ultra HD Premium 4K TV. Is this contender for Best TV of the Year? Also, stay tuned for comments from the cinematographer behind Marco Polo. This is the Panasonic DX900 or DX902 in the UK. It's a 4K HDR LED LCD TV. It's also the first to be certified Ultra HD Premium by the UHD Alliance of TV makers, content suppliers and chip vendors. At first glance it looks like any other flat screen, but the build quality is excellent. Panasonic has employed an Italian design house to style the set, and it shows, from the star engraving on the feet to the textured finish around the edge of the frame. As you can see, there's loads of nice detailing. I particularly like the fact that it's well finished in areas you don't normally see, like this faux leather treatment on the rear of the stand. The set has a full array backlight. It's not edge lit, and as a result there's a quartet of fans on the rear. They make a slight hum when the set's on, but you won't hear it over program noise. Connectivity is good. There's dual satellite inputs, twin terrestrial tuner, also 4 HDMIs, one with ARC, all support HDCP 2.2. There's also 3 USBs plus legacy connections, Ethernet and an SD card reader. Wi-Fi is dual band. The set comes with 2 remote controls, one standard infrared and the other a Bluetooth touchpad. The IR has a nice hairline finish. Dedicated Netflix button. The touchpad, like all touchpads, is pretty unusable. It'll end up in a drawer. Obviously this is a pretty big model and weighs some 34.5 kg. The stereo sound system is rated at 40 watts and I found it decent enough for casual viewing. Picture quality is absolutely fantastic. Its images are really vibrant and contrasty, especially with material like the Lego Movie on 4K Blu-ray. Topping 1000 nits, it's incredibly bright. Also does a great job upscaling regular HD sources. There's a variety of viewing modes. The TV was certified for UHD Premium on Professional 1, but other HD viewing modes are True Cinema and Normal. Selecting any of these automatically sets the right EOTF and colour space. There is a caveat though. To get these brilliant peaks, Panasonic has used a full array backlight of 512 LEDs arranged in a grid pattern behind the screen, in a honeycomb, literally a network of plastic cells designed to prevent light leakage. On some difficult scenes this stands out like a sore thumb. You might just be able to see it on this fireworks shot. You're looking for a light halo or bloom. For the most part though, the technique works well. You can try and moderate the effects with the adaptive backlight control. The set uses the Firefox Smart OS, which is brilliantly simple. You start with 3 pins, but you can add more if you need to customize. Apps will take you to the stuff you want and the stuff you don't want, from catch-up players you'll use every day to streaming services you'll probably never want to visit more than once. As you can see, navigating around the set itself is fast and responsive. Both Netflix and Amazon apps are 4K enabled. Devices take you to any connected source, from local Blu-ray players to networked NAS drives. Live TV does what it says on the tin. Here we have Freeview Play, which I think is great. The main channel catch-up TV services are integrated into the program guide, which makes the set easy for everyone else in the family to use. Out-of-the-box settings are really good. Picture presets include Dynamic, which is basically for masochists, and we have 2 THX modes, Cinema and Bright Room. For those that want to make the TV look like it's from 2010, don't use these with HDR sources as they're optimised for Rec 709. And so there you have it. I think the DX902 is an amazing TV. Backlight is sometimes a challenge, but for the most part it looks incredible. At the Euro launch of the DX900, but DX902, I met with Vanya Sergil, the cinematographer of Marco Polo, the first Netflix show in HDR. This is Vanya on HDR.
My first experience with HDR was when I graded one episode for, this was experimental at that time, of Marco Polo in Los Angeles. And the way the grading suite was set up, we had a large HDR screen and then a small SDR screen next to it where I could refer to the image that we have already created. And it was the first time I saw HDR image, and we started grading, and after maybe 3 minutes I looked back to the reference monitor, and it looked like mud, and I was like, I told the technician, something's wrong, this is not the image. And they said, no, this is the SDR, this is the image we created before. It was a shock for me how quickly I adjusted to the brightness of the highlights. So I think HDR is going to be something that the consumers will get used to quickly and will recognize quickly, even more so than 4K, which is about the resolution and more pixels. This is it's just much closer to reality, I feel.
Going back to shooting Marco Polo in HDR, how do you approach the colour grading of that? If you were releasing it theatrically, you presumably colour grade it accordingly. But how do you approach it for Netflix?
Well, Marco Polo in particular, we graded in a P3 color space. We graded in the same way we would grade for a theatrical. For me, it was more about because it was a 13th century show. So you have basically 3 light sources that you can work with and simulate. It's sunlight, moonlight, and fire, and which is a little bit, compared to a modern show where you can use all these different light sources and add color, we were constricted to these 3. So it was very important for me to know that I will save the highlights in the flames when I'm using the flames and open fire. So sometimes I could even shoot a scene using only available lighting only with torches and candles. And torches and candles that you can see inside the frame. Not, we didn't have 10,000 torches next to the camera. I shot one scene, for example, where the actor was carrying the torch. That was the only light in the scene, which I wouldn't dare do something like that. Maybe I don't know, 5 years ago, even, unless I specifically tested it and knew exactly what I was doing. So it's freeing in a way.
So what camera do you use?
What camera did we use?
Marco Polo.
Marco Polo we shot with a F55.